I mean, how many times have they been sued? Zeppelin for stealing people's riffs from New Orleans, dude. You know it's...
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Sam, I want to jump ahead. Tommy Dreamer on Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast said that you pretty much OD'd in Milwaukee and died.
Whoa.
And then
it wasn't Milwaukee, it was Indianapolis.
All right.
He's got the wrong city.
Listen.
I thought we were like 40. Here, I'll tell you what.
I want to go over a few things. So Bill Alfonso thought you were dead. Who was in studio? Florida?
No, I wasn't Florida.
Listen.
It
Correct me once up.
There. Let him say
Bill
that.
Alfonso hid the drugs because he thought you were dead, but they revived you and you went on to wrestle. Tell the story.
Because he thought he was
dead.
dead.
Dude, Raven fucking started. I was thinking, you gotta understand, this was like crazy days with the pills. We had like rolling different doctors, getting 80 Oxycontin 80s from this guy, 80 oxys from this guy, 80 oxys from this guy.
Dr. Robert.
I never even thought about shooting a fucking drug, or obviously I would have done it by then. Who knows how old I am at this point? You know what I mean?
Jeez.
So Raven, I look
now?
over the stall. I'm like, why the fuck is Raven? It was like the second or third time that he'd been sitting in the stall. So I look over the stall and he's fucking shooting. I'm like, what the fuck are you shooting? He goes, I'm shooting an oxy. I'm like, I gotta try it. So he told me do not shoot an 80. I'm like, dude, I'm snorting like 5 80s a day right now and an 8-ball. And fucking, you think I'm worried about shooting 180? So I shoot the fucking 80, get in the car, pass right the fuck out. My lips start turning blue. Fonzie's next to me. It's Rhino's first day on the job. Rhino's driving. He had to tell you, Rhino freaked the fuck out coming back in the next day. So these guys are driving down the road. Whoever calls fucking 911, they pull over. The ambulance comes. They hit me with the fucking the fucking needle to the heart. Take me to the hospital. I wake up at like 2 in the morning. Wake up 2 in the morning. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck am I? I'd said something to the nurse, and I'm like, I had done. I pulled the fucking things out. They had me hooked up to a bag or whatever, banana bag. I pulled them out, and my phone happened. My phone and my shirt or something was fucking behind me. I called Fonzie, said, yo, Daddy, we're right around the corner at the Marriott. But I think it was close enough that I might even walked. So, yeah.
Wait, but he's not shocked you're alive.
Huh?
He's not shocked you're alive?
Well, he's like, dude.
Hey, cool, you're alive. Come on over.
On my watch, the night that fucking him and Beulah, right? Fonzie's got heat for some reason with Paulie. I'm not sure exactly what it was. So Fonzie bled like a fucking pig. I take Fonzie to the hospital on fucking Broad Street. And he goes in there, emergency room. He lost like, I don't know, if you have like 8 pints of blood, he lost like 5 of them or something like that. You know what I mean? They were worried about him. 3 hours of the docs. 3 hours later, I'm fine. He's like, we're getting the hell out of here, Sam. The doc goes, no smoking, no drinking this. I had a cocktail waiting for him and a cigarette in the fucking car. Well, yeah, dude, the dude just lost like 65% of his fucking blood.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
How do you arrive in ECW where everything obviously changes for you?
What?
How do you arrive in ECW? How did you wind up in ECW?
Dude, I was there. I had more seniority than anybody. Nobody was in that company longer than me. I left for a year and still had more seniority.
From the Eastern Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, dude.
So how did you wind up in there with Todd?
Dude, me and Todd just hit it off. Todd's like one of those people that just fucking it's like Stryker is with me. There's just people that are called familiars. And it's like somebody that you just know. Dude, I get goosebumps even thinking about those two guys. Dude, they're just my familiars, and me and Todd just hit it off great from fucking day one. So soon, I didn't even know. So Joel Goodhart goes under. Todd and Lex and Bob Ortiz buy the belts for like 10 G's or something, and then Todd, so they're like kind of like partners. And Todd tells me to come down and see him in his fucking office, and he's like, I'm going to make you my champion. I'm like, nice.
Yeah. Wow.
So then I get bored. Okay, let me tell you this story. So we used to wrestle when Todd first took over. I couldn't wrestle at the place we were because it was called Market Street East. And they had a great piano bar there. So I was there on a night that we weren't wrestling, you know what I mean? I was there with my buddies, and fucking Peaches was with me. It was because it was early with her. And I did something, I'm a drunken idiot or whatever, and I fucked with the manager, this chick manager. So then when I go to wrestle there the next week, she goes to Todd, no, you can't wrestle. And then I guess Todd paid her off or something because the next month I was wresling.
How was it?
I think I might have to apologize to her.
Oh.
How was it working with your wife? Was that a pain in the ass, or was it good?
Dude, I was so young. I was like, you know what I'm saying? You just don't even know because you don't even know better because you've never done it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was fine.
Okay.
I liked it. Her and my son Tyler. my oldest son they would come down. They would take the hour drive down into Philly for me to go to wrestling school every night and the hour back with me, 4 nights a week.
In ECW, at Dawn Marie, Francine, Beulah, Sonny, Jazz. In your opinion, who's the biggest hoe?
The biggest hoe?
All right, dude. Next. What the hell? I don't need to make somebody look bad to make myself look better. A great lesson that everybody in this room should learn in life. You don't have to make somebody look bad to make you look good.
There you go, brother.
How about your opinion on Paul Heyman, if I can get one?
Dude, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for fucking him, dude. My brother was like Paul Heyman. He believed his own shit. He couldn't tell the fucking truth. So I knew Paul Heyman before it was my brother, you know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't care. The guy was putting me over, coming up with great ideas and shit like that. Dude, my career's taking the fuck off. All right, he owed me some money at the end, but luckily I had always made money before. I was making $75,000 a year. The first day when I started wrestling school, you know what I'm saying? So.
Wait a minute, you were making $75,000 a year wrestling, or did you have a separate job?
Yeah, in a regular job.
What were you doing?
I was selling newspapers for the Philadelphia Inquirer, not one by one. I would put like 10 kids in one of the Sandman vans. I would take them to a neighborhood. They would go around and sell like 100 orders on a Saturday. They pay me $25 for each one, and I give them like $5 to $7, depending on how many they wrote.
Okay. So that's a gutsy move then, leaving that type of job to go to professional wrestling, right?
Well, it was only certain. Well, I had a little problem because I had Peach's sister take it over, and she was a girl and she was young, and the boys from the hood abused her and stuff. You know what I mean? But it worked out in the end. I had some money saved, so.
How is your relationship with Heyman now?
We don't have one. I can't even remember the last time I talked to him.
Really?
Yeah.
Haven't spoken.
I don't know. I'm stupid though, dude. I could have talked to him a year ago, but I just wouldn't remember it. But I don't think so. Probably. I don't know. Was he there in 2008 when I left WWE? I guess that would have been the last time.
Wow. Long time.
It's a long time ago.
As you said, you were there from the beginning with ECW. Ironically, your first championship, when it was still Eastern Championship Wrestling, I believe, was against Don Morocco. Can we get some memories of my personal favorite?
Yeah, I'll tell you, fucking great memory.
Magnificent
Morocco. The finish is Morocco puts me up for the fucking. He did like a tombstone or something then, right? Like an inverted pile driver, whatever the fuck it was called. Peaches, and he brings me over by the ropes. Peaches throws the powder in his face. He falls back, pin 1, 2, 3. I didn't see it because of the position what I was in, and subsequently you learn by fucking up. She goes to throw the powder, but you have to have powder mixed with 50% salt or 50% sugar, or it's not flying anywhere. You know what I mean? We didn't know that back then, you know what I mean? So she threw it, it went nowhere, and Morocco goes like this. There's like a puff. Morocco
he runs into
I can't stand up. Morocco like takes a step forward and goes, and then falls back.
That's hilarious.
I know you expressed fondness for Todd Gordon. How did you develop the Sandman gimmick and in-ring approach, and did Todd have much to do with that?
Well, yeah, Todd took me from the surfer thing to fucking him saying to Paul, because Paul didn't believe in me at first, and he was like, Todd told me, he goes, Paul's like, hey, I know he's your boy and shit, but he ain't got it. Well, and then Todd's like, well, no, just let him go out there and be him. And next thing you know, it's the beers, the cigarette, Nancy, bam, it's off to the races then.
Do you think Vince was afraid of your gimmick?
What do you mean afraid? I don't think Vince is afraid of much, dude.
Yeah, well, New Jack expressed that he was afraid of him. I just wondered if your gimmick was a little too much for Vince, even though Vince was ridiculous.
I guess not safe.
How about I wonder, any thoughts on Vince McMahon?
No, he was cool a couple times I talked to him.
So he was, okay. I was going to ask you to compare Vince to Paul Heyman, your experience.
Nah, when I talked to Vince for fucking 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Oy.
You mentioned Nancy. Thoughts on Nancy and
Yeah,
Chris Benoit?
Her, she taught me so much. Freaking Nancy taught. Well, because you got to understand, Kevin Sullivan's going to take the book down in freaking WCW or whatever. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, WCW. And he goes to me, pulls me aside. He goes, listen, I'm leaving my wife and she's going to start coming out with you. And he gave me a couple pieces of advice. He said something like, he goes, dude, promoters will love you because you fucking, you could get over, you can lose every single night of the week and get over more than the guy that beat you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, love it. And that's why me and Dreamer would fight over who would win, dude. I've literally lost like 80, maybe even more than 80% of my matches. I would never win, ever. Because you're working with Sabu. He don't want to do a job. He don't want to do a job for you. Shane, he don't want to do a job for you.
Sabu.
Damn, Shane.
Shane!
Well, you got
Poor guy.
Sabu. These guys are taught by, do you know what I mean?
I thought you were reasonable. What's going on
But I can
here?
understand it totally. Because, you know, the Sheik's teaching Sabu. He's like, no, you don't do a job for fucking anybody.
Can I ask? I know it. You know, you can decline if you wish. So what were your thoughts when you heard about what Benoit?
Dude, obviously I was fucking shocked.
Okay.
Dude. Yeah, I liked Chris a lot. I mean, everybody liked Chris, but, you know, shit happens.
Were you surprised? Did you see anything coming that way? Like, you know, just out of the blue.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
You obviously watched the entire transformation of Eastern Championship Wrestling to Extreme Championship Wrestling. Did you know at the time what sort of impact this company would ultimately have on the
Fuck
business?
no, dude. I would have appreciated it more, and I would have treasured it more if I
Interesting.
did. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We're just rock starring it the fuck out. You know what I mean? Straight rock stars, dude. That's how we are. You know, you're not thinking about how, you know, what your place is, but I'll tell you what, I do remember when we started making Japanese magazines, and I was like, all right, dude, we got something here.
Something's
You know
going
what
on.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. You held ECW Tag Gold with our good buddy Too Cold Scorpio. I wanted to get your thoughts on tag wrestling versus one-on-one competition. Do you have a preference?
Yeah, probably one-on-one more than tag, especially the way tags are being done now. Where there's like 8,000 moves, nobody sells anything.
You don't even have to tag in AEW.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that when I watched.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know,
did.
because to
He
me, because dude, I was telling who the fuck was Pat? Was I telling you that freaking when he? I think we were watching.
Hey,
it
Pat,
last
how
night.
are you?
Pat, what's going on,
But we were drunk. Who spun the guy to pull the hair to make sure that the ref actually didn't say it? Was that me and you talking about that last night?
I can't remember. That was drunk.
Yeah, but like it was, but it was actually, but, you know, it's just weird because I noticed. I'm like, wait a minute, did you see somebody actually spun so the ref didn't see when they cheated?
Right.
It's like a joke. They see everything.
You had many different angles in ECW. We were talking about Vince being scared. Do you think that whole
Vince
crucifixion?
wasn't scared of shit, dude. He had Paulie in his pocket the whole time, way earlier
Right.
than anybody even fucking knew.
Right. Right.
What did you feel about the crucifixion angle?
Dude, I loved it. What are you kidding
Do it
me?
again!
I made it. I made the
was-
cross, dude. You know the
Really?
dude. You know the
Okay.
freaking who was it? The scaffold match with Dreamer on the chain swinging. I built that whole thing and put it up there myself. The cross thing. We get back in. We come back through the curtain. I'm loving it. Everybody's just like standing there like that. And I don't even know who the fucking Kurt Angle is.
That's what I was about to ask you. Like,
I
you're
don't
like,
even know who the fucking dude is. But I walk like 20 feet, there's
He
a
wrestles?
circle. Here's Todd, here's Paulie, here's Shane, here's Kurt, and there might have been somebody, Raven. And I'm like, no, do not fucking do it. I don't fucking care. Do not go out there and fucking apologize. I'm going to be pissed. I was very adamant about that, dude. And